Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast, to Just Listen to One. I do appreciate you guys listening to my podcasts. In this podcast, I'm going to talk about body dysphoria, and I don't know how to pronounce it that well, but it's. I thought it's going to say it, but I guess not. And mental health and just that topics, and I feel like mental health is a good topic to talk about if I'm being completely honest and whatnot. So I'm gonna grab my glasses real quick because my vision is bad right now for some reason. So yeah, okay, I see a little bit better. I'm going to read the definition of body dysphoria. So let me read the definition. Body dysphoria disorder, or BDD, is a mental health condition where a person spends a lot of time worrying about their flaws in their appearance. These flaws are often unnoticeable to others, but people of any age could have it. But it's most common in teenagers and young adults. It affects both men and women. And there are two types of it: the muscle dysphoria and BDD of proxy, I think how you pronounce it. Both of these subtypes appears to respond to the base of treatment of strategies of BDD, convertic behavior of therapy, or CBT, and medications. However, the CBT therapist in Perical needs adjustment of treatment so they are practically seeing the right niche, I guess, of it. Some therapists like mine aren't at that level to diagnose it. And I talked to my therapist about it recently, and she's not that educated in that department, and suggest me to go to my primary doctor about it. So that is what I'm planning on doing on January 4th. So, yeah. And I'm pre-filming this podcast right now, so it's still December. So by the time you see this, I might already see my doctor about to talk about it, which I will touch base with you guys, rather it's here on my podcast or on my vlogging channel, whichever. And what causes it is, these are some of the things that may cause it: abuse or bullying, low self-esteem, fear of being rejected, perfectionism or comparing yourself to others, genetics, depression, anxiety, or OCD. And there could be other causes or reasons people who may have it or not. And when I was in elementary school, for sure, but in a little bit in middle school, a little bit, and little bit throughout my when I went to school, I was bullied, and I've always had low self-esteem ever since I started puberty when I was 10, but especially when I hit the teenage years, if I'm being completely honest. I've never had that fear of being rejected, from my memory at least. I do compare myself to other people, and it could be genetics, but with my family, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't confirm or deny that part, if I'm being completely honest. But I do have anxiety and depression, but I'm not sure if I have OCD or not. I might without even realizing it. I don't know if I'm being completely honest. And when I Google it, let me Google it. Uh, um, there it is. Um, it's common ratio. It happens to diagnosed. It's more than 200,000 U.S. causes per year, so it's more common than people think, and it's there is treatment that can help, but it can't be officially cured. It requires a medical diagnose, which I don't, as of right now, when I'm making this podcast, I'm not diagnosed with it, so I can't really say that I do or don't have it because I don't know, because I'm not diagnosed. I'm kind of self-diagnosis myself, which I shouldn't do, but lab test and imaginary lab tests and imaging are not required, and it can last for years or a lifetime. So I've as long as I could remember, as a kid, I was always uncomfortable with my body and just, I don't know. Like, I've always looked at myself in a negative way, if that makes sense, as long as I could remember, especially since I started puberty. And when I started puberty, I was about 10, almost 11. So, practically as a preteen, practically when I started puberty, I started really young. I started when I was like maybe 2 or 3 months before I turned 11, so I was still technically 10. I was in 4th grade. I was one of the first, like, 3 or 4 people who started puberty, not even. So I was probably the first one in my grade to started it. But I could be wrong though, but yeah. So that's kind of like briefly of a little bit about body dysphoria. I can't pronounce it that well, but I want to talk about now about my mental health. And I think mental health is so important nowadays and whatnot. So mental health, it means a mental health includes our emotional, physiologic, I can't pronounce that well, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress and relate to others to make healthy choices. Mental health is important at life stages of life, from childhood and all through teenage and throughout adulthood. And there are four common mental health disorders. I don't like to use disorders, but there are mood disorders such as depression or bipolar, which I have both of them. I have anxiety, which is one of them, and personality disorder and psychotic disorders such as schizophrenia. I can't pronounce that word, but there are many more, but those are the four common. I'm going to read off some 10 tips to boost your mental health. So I'm going to read some tips for you guys to help you guys with mental health and whatnot. One, make social connections, especially face to face. 2, stay active. 3, talk to someone, whether it's a friend, family member, therapist, etc. Appeal your senses. Take up relaxation practices such as yoga, mindfulness, meditation. Deep breaths can help overall stress levels. Make leisure and contemplation a primary. So overall, to keep yourself busy, but not too busy that's going to overload yourself. Number 7, eat a brain healthy diet to support your strong mental health. Foods like beans and fatty fish, nuts, fruit, vegetables, dark chocolate could help a lot with your beneficial health, which is my favorite. Dark chocolate is my favorite chocolate, if I'm being completely honest, and just overall a healthy lifestyle per se. If you struggle to eat healthy, eat healthier and making healthier decisions, you can always talk to your doctor or your therapist about it if you have concerns. Don't skip on sleep, because sleep is very important overall health, and so maybe decrease on electronics before bedtime and just listening to music instead of maybe calming kind of meditation kind of music, which also helps me a little bit. Number 9, find a purpose and meaning. This is different for everyone, but finding purpose in your day is a big factor in good health. You might try the following: engaging in work and play that make you feel useful, invest in relationship and spending time with people that are important to you, whether it's a friend, family member, a partner, whoever it may be. Find ways to care for others, which can be rewarding and meaningful. So if you ever have a goal to volunteer your time at the homeless shelter, or if you see a homeless person, give them $5-10, or go buy them food, or something under those lines. Or you can think of a good deed or gesture to make someone's day even better, just by overall saying hi or smile at them, or giving them a high five, or asking somebody how they're doing. Number 10, if you get help if and when you need it, and there are lots of different kind of resources, like there's like crisis lines worldwide, so that could help you a lot. Here are some about 5 mental health signs that you might have to see your therapist or primary doctor, and just letting you know it's consistent or affecting your day-to-day life. So I'm not a doctor or a therapist, so I'm just trying to help you guys out and guide you in the right direction. Hopefully, I'm not trying to confuse you, but if you're feeling sad or down a lot more and it's affecting it, confused thinking, or reduce ability to concentrate, excessive fears or worries or extreme feelings of guilt, or extreme mood changes of high and lows, or withdrawal from family, friends, or activities, or extremely significant tiredness or low energy or problems of sleeping. Those are some. I'm gonna read some more mental disorders. There might be some repeats, so just that I should let you know. Anxiety. About a little bit about anxiety is in 2019 about 301 people were living with anxiety disorder, including 58 billion children. Anxiety disorders are characteristic by fear, worrying, and relevant behavior. There are panic disorders, which is kind of like a panic attack. There is depression. In 2019, 280 million people were living with depression, including 23 million children who experience it. Bipolar in 2019, about 40 million people were diagnosed. I didn't gotten diagnosed until when I was bipolar when I was about 20 or 21, and so you guys know that. I don't know if that's important. PTSD, there's not much information about that, but it's just a traumatic situation in your life practically, and I didn't officially gotten diagnosed with it until around the same time frame with bipolar, so when I was about 21 roughly. This one, I can't pronounce it really well, but I'll try my best. Schizophrenia. I can't pronounce it that well, so please don't tease me, but there affects approximately 24 million people, or 1 in 300 people worldwide. So a little bit about that. Eating disorder. In 2019, about 14 million people experienced an eating disorder, and about almost 3 million children who were diagnosed with that. Destructive behavior and this social disorder. About 40 million people, including children, were diagnosed since 2019. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm gonna spell it out for you guys. Neuro, and then developmental. So I don't know how to pronounce that. I've never even heard of it. It's kind of in a way of ADHD from what I see. So it's kind of connected to ADHD. So those are a few more of diagnoses or and whatnot. How can you tell if someone is mentally disturbed? Sometimes it's noticeable, sometimes it's not noticeable, but it is feeling worried, depressed, guilty, worthless, or feeling engagement of sense of a high may signs of mental health issues, changing in sleep, weight, or personal hygiene, or activity at school or work may hint that somebody has a mental health condition or issue, or it's just maybe how they grew up and they weren't educated growing up, I guess, but it's hard to know. What is the hardest mental health to live with is what I Googled is borderline personality disorder is one of the most painful mental health illnesses since individuals are struggling with it constantly trying to cope with violence or overwhelm emotions. I'm gonna list off on things that how to relax your mind or just feeling more relaxed in general. So here are about 6 ideas to maybe help you and guide you as much as possible. Take slow, deep breaths or try to relax breathing exercise that may help with you. Soak in a warm bath, or if you like showers, take a warm, hot shower. I'm more of a shower person, so I take warm, hot showers if I'm completely honest. Listening to soothing music, practice mindfulness, meditation. The goal is mindful meditation is to focus your attention on things that is happening in your present moment. Writing, that it helps me a lot. And number 6, use guided imagery. Can mental health illness be cured? As of right now, what most mental health illnesses cannot be cured. Most things are a lifetime thing. Here are the 5 top common mental illness: depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, I cannot pronounce this word again, schizophrenia, and other things similar, and then dementia. And I just want to let you know that mental health looks so different from everybody. And some things are harder to diagnose with certain health issues, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, etc. Because some people can hide it really well or whatever it may be. But with the body dysphoria, with me, I am just self-diagnosing myself, which I can't do. I don't know. Technically, I don't know if I have it. I do have an appointment on January 4th to talk to my primary doctor to kind of know for sure whether or not if I have it or not, if I'm being completely honest. So I won't know until then whether or not if I do or don't. But because I always call myself the F word, FAT, frequently. So I don't know if in other things too, and not just that word. And I always bring myself down because of my weight and whatnot. But yeah, but I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. If you want me to make a part 2 on this, or if you want me to answer questions for you guys and make a part 2, I would would love that. So yeah, I'm just gonna end the podcast here. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, please let me know by liking, subscribing, etc. And I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.